In the beginning, the Xuan heaven was rich in natural resources, marking a golden age of cultivation, later known as the Desolate Era. Giant, mystical beasts roamed this world, like massive turtles carrying crystal mountains and volcanoes on their backs through the seas. Millions of years passed, depleting resources and causing the demon flower race to decline, ushering in an age of scarcity for cultivators. Greedy cultivators then plundered spirit plants and soil, even persecuting the demon race, sparking widespread conflict over dwindling resources. For these precious resources, cultivators did not hesitate to initiate wars against the demon race, creating a cycle of violence. Their methods were brutal. If cultivators couldn't obtain a resource, they would often destroy it completely out of spite. Now, in the Second Desolate Era, sects are numerous, resources scarce, and giant beasts reawaken, making sect reliance vital for survival. In a sect garden, strange and lively plants grow near a traditional building, hinting at unique cultivation practices. A young disciple is suddenly knocked over by a large purple plant, getting splashed with water from its aggressive movement. He lands soaked, muttering about the flower's temper after a simple pollination attempt. This is Tian Yuan, a Ziyun sect outer disciple. Rising, the young man decides to wait until the feisty flower is in a better mood before trying to tend to it again. Suddenly, a voice calls out to Tian Yuan, announcing that dinner is ready, causing him to look up in surprise. A kind girl, He Yin, another outer disciple from the Ziyun sect, approaches, reminding him to eat well to maintain his strength for work. She urges him to hurry along. He quickly assures her that he is coming, not wanting to keep anyone waiting. Dinner is served on a large tree stump, featuring his favorite dish, durian jelly chicken, as he arrives with his gardening tools. He Yin notices he's still damp and gently tells him to wipe his face first. He seems a bit shy. She then says they can eat. He thanks her for the trouble, feeling a little embarrassed by her kindness. Tian Yuan reflects on his current life as an inconspicuous servant, gardener within the vast Ziyun sect. He recalls his past life, where he was born with crippled legs, spending his days surrounded by the comfort of flowers and plants. Though his body couldn't travel, his heart dreamed of roaming myriad realms as a cultivator, becoming a top-tier online gamer. However, his dreams of cultivation in his past life ended abruptly one day while he was listening to the radio in the courtyard. When he opened his eyes again, the scene before him had transformed into the cultivation world he had always yearned for. He was incredibly excited, exclaiming inwardly that this meant he could finally cultivate. Two female disciples nearby wonder aloud what that Tian guy is yelling about, one guessing he is just obsessed with cultivating. He pondered becoming a sword, artifact, or talisman cultivator, but soon made a disheartening discovery about his spiritual root. An elder confirmed he lacked a spiritual root, but as heaven's compensation, he possessed an innate flora sacred body, great with plants. Back in the present, while eating with He Yin, she looks at a nearby plant and exclaims how big it has grown already. He Yin then leans very close to him, remarking that he is amazing for working so long, yet still smelling so good, making him uneasy. He tells her she does not need to get so close. She playfully asks what else she can do, enjoying his reaction. She then hugs him tightly. He thinks about his junior sister. They are from the same hometown and became close friends after joining the sect. He sighs, seemingly unable to do anything about her affectionate teasing, and she happily exclaims that Tian Yuan is the best. A small smile plays on his lips as he reflects on his current situation with her. The sect leader grumbles that reaching first rate in half a year is a stage only attainable by many skilled artists together. Suddenly, a stern voice calls out Tian Yuan's name, causing He Yin to yelp in surprise, startled by the interruption. Ziyun sect head disciple Wen Yu appears, asking if he is slacking off from managing the spirit herb garden and wants to be punished. Tian Yuan nervously says he will get to work right away, hoping she will not blame him. He Yin wonders if it is still dinner time. He panics internally, wondering how he ran into this woman whose punishments are known to be severe, someone not to be provoked. He Yin angrily defends him, asking Wen Yu if she is trying to work a mere mortal to death at high noon. He thinks he has provoked her. Wen Yu retorts that it is his responsibility to care for the garden and questions He Yin about her own uncompleted sect missions. He Yin accuses the head disciple of bothering Tianyuan daily and looking down on those with weak cultivation. He tries to calm her. He Yin, now radiating a fiery aura, declares she will not allow Wen Yu to bully Tianyuan, while he urges her not to be rash. Despite his warning, He Yin charges forward, her hand glowing with red energy, ready to confront the head disciple. Wen Yu, with a cold look, effortlessly deflects He Yin's attack, telling her she is overestimating her own abilities. He Yin coughs up blood from the impact, and Tianyuan shouts her name in concern as Wen Yu calmly stands by. He rushes to support her, asking if she is okay. She coughs again, but assures him she is fine. Tianyuan angrily confronts Wen Yu, questioning how she could be so heavy-handed with a fellow disciple. She remains impassive. Wen Yu sternly warns him against meeting privately during work hours, her gaze sharp and unwavering. Tianyuan glares back, a look of defiance and anger in his eyes, clearly upset by her actions and words. Wen Yu then tells him he is on his own, summons her sword, and flies away, leaving them behind. Later, Tianyuan tends to He Yin's injuries, noting that luckily it is not too severe. She angrily questions Wen Yu's right to be head disciple. He advises her not to say such things, explaining Wen Yu is upright and always helps disciples in danger. He Yin calls her a tattletale. He Yin complains that Wen Yu bullies others due to her high cultivation, wishing for a wisteria herb to improve her own. He listens intently. He then tells her he can help her get the wisteria herb, surprising her with his offer. He Yin, shocked, asks if he is thinking of stealing it. He quickly shushes her, a finger to his lips. He reminds her they cannot say such things out loud, and she sheepishly covers her mouth, realizing her mistake. He confidently tells her to leave it to him, a determined look on his face. He Yin seems touched by his resolve. Overjoyed, she tearfully hugs him, exclaiming how good he is to her. He protests, telling her not to wipe her snot on him. Meanwhile, Wen Yu has returned to a different location, observed from a distance as she stands on her sword. She seems to be contemplating something, a small, glowing, triangular artifact floating near her hand as she looks out over the landscape. Back at the sect entrance, a vibrant purple portal glows, surrounded by blooming flowers, signifying a place of passage or power. Tianyuan stands in the spirit herb garden, thinking everyone should be meditating, leaving the garden as his domain. He decides to water the spirit herbs first, as part of his duties, before attempting anything else. Then he plans to apply an object control talisman to his watering tool, a common practice for him. He places a glowing, super strong weeding talisman onto his large watering container, activating its power. As the talisman works, he pulls weeds, noting they have been growing too fast lately, requiring extra effort. He then approaches the wisteria herb field, his eyes fixed on the sign, a determined look on his face. He exclaims aloud that the wisteria herbs are growing too densely, feigning concern for their well-being. He plucks one, reasoning that growing too densely will affect their growth, making it seem like he is merely thinning them out. Suddenly, Ziyun's sect master, perfected Master Ziyun, appears with his attendants, asking if that is so and why he was unaware of this. Tianyuan stammers nervously, claiming he was just helping trim the weeds, and asks if the sect master believes him. The sect master, unconvinced, creates a red energy ball in his hand, his expression stern and unimpressed. He lifts Tianyuan into the air with his power, accusing him of being caught red-handed and still daring to argue. The sect master orders his attendants to beat him, and they readily agree, preparing their clubs. Tianyuan is thrown to the ground, coughing from the force, still clutching the wisteria herb. The attendants then begin to strike him repeatedly with their clubs, their faces grim and determined. As he is beaten, Tianyuan thinks of He Yin, enduring the pain for her sake, the wisteria herb still in his grasp. One of the attendants raises his club for another strike, but a voice calls out, telling him to wait. He Yin has arrived, pleading with the master to stop, fearing Tianyuan's limbs will be broken if the beating continues. Tianyuan, bruised and battered, thinks to himself that, as expected, it was He Yin who pleaded for him in the end. She continues to beg the master, asking him to stop for her sake, her expression full of worry and desperation. The sect master coldly states to just leave his body intact, shocking Tian Yuan with his callousness. Tian Yuan, kneeling and bruised, asks He Yin what she means by this. She replies, "It is exactly what it sounds like." She approaches him, calling his name softly, her intentions now unclear. She leans in, telling him if he has to blame someone, blame himself for being too slow, as she only got one herb. He Yin then declares that after he dies, she will take charge of the spirit herb garden. Tian Yuan shouts her name in disbelief. He looks up in horror as two clubs are about to strike his head, questioning why this is happening. The sect master orders his men to beat Tian Yuan to death and bury him, as his flora sacred body is still effective when buried. He Yin praises the master. Suddenly, Wen Yu arrives, telling the master to wait, explaining that although Tian Yuan stole, He Yin instigated it all. The sect master skeptically asks if that is so, his expression unchanging as he looks towards Wen Yu. Wen Yu confirms it, stating she used an image recording artifact to capture the proof. He Yin panics, claiming she has been wronged and that Wen Yu is targeting her because she and Tian Yuan are having an affair. The master is surprised. He Yin then fawns over the sect master, saying he treats her best and she would never steal his things, only his heart. He seems pleased. Wen Yu, disgusted, states that if the master cannot distinguish right from wrong, she would rather not stay in the Ziyun sect. She summons her sword, preparing to leave, while He Yin watches with a smug expression. The attendants look on. Wen Yu's sword flashes, disarming the attendants and sweeping Tian Yuan up in a gust of energy. She carries him on her sword, impaling his shoulder slightly to secure him as they prepare to flee. He Yin shouts to the master that they are trying to escape. He tells his disciple not to be anxious. Tian Yuan coughs, asking Wen Yu why she saved him. She tells him to worry about himself, calling him a muddle-headed fool. The sect master, now radiating immense purple energy, declares that the Ziyun sect is not a place to come and go as one pleases. He Yin gasps. A massive purple energy hand erupts from the ground, attempting to grab Wen Yu and Tian Yuan as they fly away, the master shouting for them to get back. A massive explosion of purple energy rocks the area as the sect master unleashes his power. He Yin complains to the sect master for being annoying and not keeping his promise to leave the body intact. He assures her it is still useful. Tian Yuan, heavily injured, realizes Wen Yu shielded him with her body. He laments that as a mortal, his injuries are fatal. He lies dying, wondering if Wen Yu would save him again if they could redo everything, questioning if he is dying again. Filled with rage, he curses He Yin and the sect master, questioning why they have to exterminate them completely and live smugly. His eye, bloodshot and burning with fury, focuses as he thinks about what he would do if he could do it all over again. He vows to kill that despicable pair with his own hands. A red gem-like object appears, veined with red lines. A system notification announces he has entered a near-death state and awakened the prodigious gardener system. Tian Yuan, with a bloody smirk, wonders what took the system so long to appear, a spark of hope igniting within him. The system confirms successful awakening and begins distributing rewards. A glowing red gem appears before him, pulsing with energy. A beautiful, ethereal flower demon appears amidst a vibrant red light, as Tian Yuan thinks the system has come at the right time. The system announces he has obtained a 100,000-year flower demon seed, its eyes glowing with power. A system message explains the flower demon seed requires the host's essence blood to activate and asks if he wishes to use it. Tian Yuan, holding the glowing seed, confidently states there is no need to ask and decides to absorb it. A small winged flower demon emerges as the seed activates. Surrounded by swirling red energy, the system confirms activation. Meanwhile, He Yin informs the sect master that Tian Yuan has been eliminated and asks about managing the spirit herb garden. He assures her she is in charge. Tian Yuan, buried in the ground, notices a strange light emanating from his chest, wondering what it is. Two sect attendants with shovels notice the light, deciding it must be something good and plan to dig it up before He Yin gets it. A glowing white flower bud emerges from Tian Yuan's buried body, pulsing with red energy as a shovel nears it. Suddenly, massive pink flowers erupt from the ground, sending the attendants flying. He Yin and the sect master look on in surprise. The sect master stammers in disbelief as a giant pink flower looms before them, dwarfing everything around it. A colossal flower erupts from the earth, shaking the ground and radiating immense energy, identified as a cosmic phenomenon. He Yin asks what this is, wondering why such a huge flower suddenly sprouted. The sect master deduces it is at least a 10,000-year great demon. He explains the demon race's hierarchy, corresponding to human cultivation realms ranging from spirit demons to 10-million-year demon emperors. The master muses that even young spirit herbs are sufficient for cultivation, imagining the immense benefits of refining this spirit demon. He Yin points out the spirit demon looks human, questioning how it can be refined. He dismisses her, saying spirit demons cannot shapeshift. A stunning humanoid figure with flowing pink hair and floral accents emerges from the light, exuding an otherworldly aura. The figure is identified as Shazhua of the demon race, blooming from a giant peony, her form graceful and powerful. Shazhua opens her eyes, her gaze ancient and knowing, as she states that she has slept for a long time. The sect master is terrified, exclaiming that a spirit demon has taken human form, wondering how powerful this great demon must be. A voice transmitting morning glory flower appears in Shahua's hand, glowing with a soft, ethereal light. She, the central province demon emperor Fei Hua, uses the flower to call her subordinates from the 4 directions, asking them to respond. Static and a faint image of a sword appear, indicating a problem with her communication attempt. Shewa feels a dull ache, clutching her chest as she wonders if her subordinates died in the Great War. The sect master orders his 2 terrified attendants to capture the great demon, but they hesitate, clearly outmatched. He insists the newly awakened plant spirit's combat power is weak, and promises a handsome reward for her capture. The attendants reluctantly agree. Shawa smirks, stating that one empress on this continent is enough, her eyes glowing with malevolent intent. The attendants try to climb the massive thorny vines towards her, but she looks down with disdain. With a flick of her finger, Shawa declares that all humans deserve to die, her voice filled with contempt. Glowing peony flowers bloom on the vines, one attendant asking what they are, the other identifying them as peony flowers. One attendant looks confused as a peony flower covers his face, its petals soft but ominous. The massive thorny vine crumbles into pieces as the peony flowers detonate with surprising force, though not as powerful as expected. Xiaohua clutches her chest, wondering why her power is so weak and diminished after her long slumber. The sect master, surrounded by a protective purple aura, realizes the demon's power is terrifying and he cannot deal with it directly. He decides fleeing is the best option. Xiahua scoffs, noticing his attempt to escape. She declares it is too late, as glowing pink petals surround the fleeing sect master. The sect master screams as the pink petals envelop him, their energy causing him pain and distress. Xiahua looks surprised, wondering if he is unscathed by her attack, her brow furrowed in confusion. She curses, realizing she slept too long and cannot control her current power properly. She tries to focus her energy. She unleashes a massive wave of pink energy towards the sect master, shouting for him to die. The sect master braces himself, but the attack dissipates into harmless pink puffs around him, leaving him confused. He wonders how his powers suddenly vanished, then laughs, realizing Showa is newly awakened and not at full strength. He retaliates, launching a powerful beam of violet chi from the east towards the weakened demon emperor. Showa screams in pain as the violet energy strikes her, the impact surprisingly strong against her diminished defenses. The sect master grabs her by the throat, a malicious glint in his eyes, ready to absorb her power. He declares that once he refines and absorbs her, he will break through to the heaven rank. Xiahua laments her fate. Tian Yuan, now somehow revived and sitting atop a giant peony, watches the sect master about to absorb Xiahua. He complains to his system that the flower demon reward is too weak, easily beaten. The system explains contact is needed. Tian Yuan, with a bead of sweat, realizes this means he needs to rush up and touch her for the system to work. He leaps towards the sect master, demanding his hand. The old man is surprised. Tian Yuan trusts the system, knowing he is dead either way. The sect master blasts Tian Yuan away with a wave of purple energy, calling him a vile creature, annoyed at how close he got. Tian Yuan urges Shawa to grab his hand. She is indignant that a mere human wants to touch her, the demon emperor. The sect master is surprised. Tian Yuan is alive. Shehoa thinks humans are incorrigible, wanting to defile her even when facing death, her face flushed with anger and embarrassment. As Tian Yuan gets closer, Shawa feels a strange reassurance from his scent, her body uncontrollably wanting to be near him. Despite the strange pull, she thinks touching hands is impossible for someone of her stature, her pride conflicting with her instincts. Tian Yuan successfully grabs her hand, exclaiming "Gotcha" as a bright golden light envelops them. The system congratulates the host for successfully catching the required spirit plant. Shahua makes a muffled sound, overwhelmed by the light. The sect master watches in shock as their hands are enveloped in a blinding golden light, wondering what is happening. Inyuan floats in the air, surrounded by golden energy, as the system announces the awakening of his active talent divine power. He exclaims that the ability is planting a great demon in his belly. Shawa, in miniature form, realizes her dantian is now a field. Xiaohua, now tiny, and inside Tian Yuan's dantian, wonders how she ended up there and what happened to her power. The system extracts her source energy. The sect master, enraged, accuses Tian Yuan of playing tricks and stealing his spirit herb, vowing to dig her out of his belly. Tian Yuan, facing the furious sect master, calls out to the system to save him, his hand glowing with golden energy. The system announces human-plant union. Tian Yuan's arm transforms, covered in fiery, plant-like armor, glowing with immense power. His arm morphs into a massive, ornate sword made of pink and white energy, aimed directly at the charging sect master. The Ziyun sect mountain gate crumbles under the force of the attack, rocks and debris flying everywhere. The sect master, caught in the blast, screams in disbelief, wondering how this is possible. Two sect attendants watch in terror, one exclaiming the sword strike's power is too strong, the other questioning if this is still Tian Yuan. Tian Yuan stands transformed in ornate pink and white armor, his form imposing and powerful, silently observing the destruction. He touches his helmet, admitting his control over his power is still lacking, as the strike went far off target. Tian Yuan refuses to believe he will miss again from this close, swinging his massive energy sword once more. The sect master, enraged, summons two violet chi swords, declaring Tian Yuan should not underestimate him. He screams as Tian Yuan's attack connects, wondering what happened to this kid to make him so powerful. The sect master pants, his violet chi swords cross defensively, having barely withstood the powerful blow. Tian Yuan dashes forward, calling the sect master an old geezer, his speed enhanced by his new form. He launches a powerful kick, a crescent of pink energy sweeping towards the sect master. The sect master coughs up blood, hit by the attack. Tian Yuan declares he will use his blood to begin his counterattack. Tian Yuan stands over the fallen sect master, noticing a gurgling sound coming from him. The sect master rises, enraged, calling Tian Yuan a reckless brute who dares dream of using his blood. A purple aura surrounds him. His muscles bulge, and his clothes tear as he transforms, revealing a spiked collar and leather harness. Tian Yuan looks on intently, while Shahua, in his dantian, watches with wide, surprised eyes. The sect master, now in a powered-up form, with wild purple hair and a massive purple sword, activates his Ziyun sword art purple mood. Tian Yuan calls him a pervert. The sect master charges, shouting less talk, more action. Tian Yuan acknowledges his opponent's impressive speed. Tian Yuan wonders if the purple mood will even work on his plant person form, preparing to meet the attack. Their swords clash, Tian Yuan's smaller blade deflecting the massive purple sword, much to the sect master's surprise. Shawa, from within Tian Yuan, shouts for him to dodge quickly. As the deflected energy rebounds, he thinks it is too bad. Tian Yuan's helmet cracks and shatters as the deflected energy hits him, revealing his shocked face underneath. The sect master mocks him, saying a good-for-nothing grasping immense power is still no match for years of experience, vowing to see how long he lasts. Xiahua laments that a mere human, even with her power, would not know how to use it, wondering if she will perish just after awakening. Suddenly, a brilliant golden light envelops Xiahua, causing her to exclaim in surprise. Tian Yuan, now unmasked, confidently states he has written cultivation novels, and this is the first time anyone said he lacks understanding. He effortlessly catches the sect master's massive sword, explaining it is just spiritual qi striking at high frequency. The master is shocked. Xiahua, in Tian Yuan's dantian, exasperatedly asks if their fight can be a little more serious. Tian Yuan lectures that all cultivation techniques are based on external release and internal convergence of spiritual power. The sect master listens. He tells the sect master to watch closely as a glowing pink peony manifests from his transformed arm. Tian Yuan unleashes his attack, Me under the peony flowers, sending the sect master flying with a powerful blast of pink energy. Xiahua observes a massive glowing peony plant, noting Tian Yuan used chaotic qi elements to speed up absorption, impressed by his knowledge. Tian Yuan, holding glowing peonies, declares the sect master's time is up, his use of spiritual qi surpassing the old man's. The sect master is pelted by multiple exploding peonies, confused by the sudden and relentless assault. A large explosion rocks the battlefield as He Yin watches from a distance, shocked by the power displayed. He Yin curses, realizing the old codger is no match for Tian Yuan, wondering if her sacrifices were in vain. The defeated sect master begs Tian Yuan to spare him for their master-disciple relationship. He offers Tian Yuan the spirit herb garden and He Yin if he is allowed to live. Tian Yuan, holding a lotus, says he can choose not to kill him. The sect master asks if he is serious. The sect master then blames He Yin for ruining their relationship and demands Tian Yuan kill her. He Yin calls him master in disbelief. He Yin, terrified, turns to flee, screaming that she does not want to die. The sect master grabs He Yin, telling her she must make a sacrifice for his life, vowing to avenge her later. He then strikes her. Xiahua calls Tian Yuan a soft-hearted brat for showing mercy, saying he does not understand sinister human intentions. She then looks up, noticing something with a curious expression, her attention drawn elsewhere. Beams of pink and gold light, shaped like peonies, shoot across the sky, indicating another powerful attack or event. The sect master and He Yin are struck by the peony light beams, their bodies pierced and fatally wounded. The dying sect master, coughing blood, realizes Tian Yuan actually tricked him. Tian Yuan smirks, his armor dissolving, stating that after writing so many novels, he knows what kind of villains they are. His armor completely vanishes, and a pink energy signature leaves his body, returning to its source. The energy reforms into a giant pink peony flower, standing majestically before Tian Yuan. Xiahua, perched atop the peony, tells Tian Yuan he is very interesting and offers him a chance to be her exclusive slave by kissing her toes. Tian Yuan recoils, disgusted by her demand, refusing to comply with such a demeaning act. He angrily punches the peony, calling her an idiot and a mere summoned creature who dares to be his master. Xiahua, enraged, threatens to kill him. Tian Yuan scoffs, unimpressed by her threat. She seethes, repeating mere human, but feels a strange thrill from being hit by him, confused by the aura he emits. Xiahua grabs Tian Yuan's collar, pulling him closer, her expression intense and demanding. She kisses him forcefully, much to his shock, her body acting out of her control due to the strange pull. Tian Yuan screams internally about his first kiss as the scene fades to a view of the mountains at sunset.